Good evening, everyone. I'm Charisma Robinson.
And Gish Latterly. Thanks for joining us tonight. Topping the news, the leaders of the country's largest denominations in the Christian faith have come together in support of the 4 amendment bills set for a referendum come June 7th.
The pastors are of the view that this referendum is too important to the future of the Bahamas to have it defeated because of hidden agendas, false perceptions, or unsubstantiated claims.
And while they admit that their position differs from that of other clergymen, they're also making it clear that it should not be interpreted as a response to anything other than anything that other pastors, have said.
In fact, many of these leaders came together before Parliament and voted on the bills, expressing their support on the proposed changes. Clint Watson reports.
They lead the Baptist, Catholic, Anglican, Global United Fellowship, Church of God of Prophecy, Methodist, and Brethren. And while they've made it clear that they're not a part of a yes or no campaign, they're all voting yes to all 4 bills on gender equality. Catholic Archbishop Patrick Pender believes the debate on the issues should be kept in context.
There are those among us who feel that the government of the day ought to be taught a lesson. Those who hold this opinion are free to do so. However, to use this referendum to act out this opinion would be a grave mistake. The time and forum for acting on such opinions is not this referendum. To subvert the referendum in this way would be a misstep on a national and historic scale.
Global United Fellowship presiding prelate Bishop Neil Ellis says when these bills first came to the public for consultation in 2013, he was leaning to vote no. However, since widespread consultation plus amendments to the original bills, he is comfortable voting yes. It's something Church of God of Prophecy National Overseer Bishop Franklin Ferguson subscribes to.
The church had taken a stand against Bill number 4, and during the consultative period, I remember particularly a meeting held at the Prime Minister's office with him and the leader of the opposition present, and members of the heads of churches and others were there. And the church made a request that, one, please refer the referendum to a later date so that there could be wider consultation, and 2, please revisit the wording of number 4, of bill number 4. In the midst of that process, it was concluded that instead of removing a word, add 2 words, male and female. Well, that's 3 words, but you add male, add female. And after that was written that way, it was sent abroad also for opinions. The opinions that came back to us that were put to us, and after further consultation, we were satisfied, and I was definitely, that this has shut the door for any possibility of Bill 4 making the way clear for the introduction of same-sex marriage.
This is a very crucial time in our nation. This is a time when we are reaching that point where we must determine what we're going to do to create the equality that is necessary for all citizens. And I think to miss this opportunity will be rather tragic.
Bishop Boyd suggests that these amendments should not be seen in terms of national prejudice or phobia about foreigners, but an attempt to bring justice and equality to our sons, daughters, and grandchildren who desire their children and spouses qualify for the same rights that the other gender has. Regarding Bill 4 on removing discrimination based on sex, despite protests that this will lead to same-sex marriage,
there is nothing novel or devious about this reference. The concern is that this has the possibility to open the door to same-sex unions. With the greatest respect to those who hold these views, I cannot see how this can be, nor have I heard any argument that spells out how it can be. I cannot see how the concerns with respect to Bill number 4 have any merit. And I would like to say that having fears and concerns is one thing, but let us not deny tens of thousands their rights based on what-ifs.
National Baptist and Missionary Convention President Reverend Dr. William Thompson says the country is really playing catch-up to what most countries around the world has done.
the bills are important for our country. Equal rights for women in this country is long overdue. The Bahamas really is a step behind, and I feel this time we should catch up with the rest of the world by doing that which is right.
The religious leaders say what's more frightening is the message we will be sending if the country votes no to these bills. While there are other pastors who have launched an actual Say No campaign, these leaders want one thing to be clear.
This is therefore not any kind of division in the clergy, but it is persons who have different opinions, and our opinions are all known to each other because for the past 2 years we've been in countless meetings and forums where we've talked about our views from the very beginning.
And in the last referendum, some of us said yes and some said no, and we still together.
And religious leaders, in commending the Constitutional Commission for their educational campaign, is admonishing residents to attend these forums to become educated on the issues being presented so they can make a clear decision when the day comes. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.